Welcome to Travel Resources Group. I am so glad that you are here, and we are excited to give you a peek inside our boutique host agency. I hope you're here because you are interested in running your own business with a passion for travel and you are curious to learn what it takes. This is episode 1 of a series of 3. And in this first episode, you get a real behind the scene look at what it means to own a travel planning business under the umbrella of a boutique host agency. You will get guidance to help you figure out if that would be the right fit for you. Whether you're starting out or looking to grow, this webinar is all about helping you get clarity and confidence. I'm Ilja Chapman, and I was born and raised in the Netherlands and now call sunny Key Largo, Florida, my home. I am the founder of Voyage Blue Travel, a travel agency I started over 10 years ago, and I'm also the managing travel partner of Travel Resources Group, which is a boutique host agency that supports independent travel advisors. I'm here today not just as a host agency leader, but as someone who has been there where you are. I built my own travel planning business from the ground up as a solopreneur. I know the excitement of being your own boss, the stress of juggling everything yourself, and the uncertainty that can come with figuring out your next moves. My goal today is simply to share what I have learned so you can make the best decisions for your business and future. Before I continue today, I want to read out a disclosure to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So this video is presented by us, Travel Resources Group, for informational purpose only, and our intent is to educate and inform. This video is not intended to provide legal or financial advice. We aim to offer insights into our boutique host agency model and the support that we provide to independent travel advisors. We share our perspectives and experience to help travel advisors make informed decisions. While we may offer general comparisons to other host agency models, it is not our intent to discredit or harm others in the industry. With all the information that we share, we do encourage all the attendees to do their own research and choose the path that best aligns with their values and goals. All right, so if you already started or considering a travel planning business, you most likely must have heard about the host agency concept. There are different types of host agencies. Maybe you've asked yourself, is every host agency truly unique? Can I keep my brand and do the things my way? Does size matter, right? What tools and resources will I have? And what kind of support will I get? What does community look like? And do commissions split and contracts really differ? Those are a lot of questions. And have you ever wondered what being part of a boutique host agency really looks like? Well, you're not alone in wondering. And in this webinar series, we will walk through those answers together. Let's jump in with the first big question. Are all host agencies really that different? The short answer is yes, very much so. Every host agency is unique. And one of the best ways I can explain that is by sharing a bit of my own story. Like many of you, I started part-time while juggling a full-time job. I was a resort manager here in Key Largo, Florida, working long hours and building my travel planning business in the evenings and weekends. I signed up for every training I could find. I read all the industry magazines, joined webinars, and I learned everything step by step. Now, I didn't start with a host agency. I chose a franchise model. It worked at first, but I quickly realized building a business takes more than systems. It takes support, community, and alignment. I still remember how excited I was in the beginning. Every little win felt amazing. Booking a trip, setting up a workflow, getting my first repeat client. It was so empowering. I had a vision and I loved that I could finally build something that was mine. Even though I was tired from my day job, I was motivated and I knew I wanted to be my own boss. But I also remember the overwhelm and sometimes the fear. There's so many decisions to make in your own business, so much to learn, which vendors to work with, what tools and systems to use, how to market yourself, how to build a client process. Even with training, there was still so many gaps to fill, and I had to figure out most of it on my own. It was a lot. And like many solopreneurs, I often felt like I was building the plane while I was flying it. But I stayed focused and slowly the pieces started coming together. Within 3 years, I hit over $750,000 in sales. I reached the franchise rock star level and I finally left my full-time job. Big moment. By 2020, I was on track for 1 million in sales and earning over $65,000 in commission. I had built something real and I was proud of it. But deep down, something didn't feel quite right. Even with early success, the stress didn't go away. I often felt like I didn't quite fit the mold. The tools weren't right for how I worked, and the vendors that just didn't match my niche. And the coaching didn't support my vision. When I had questions, there really was no one to ask. I felt like I was knocking on closed doors. And that disconnect wore me down and affected me more than just my business. I felt unseen, unsupported, and stuck. Looking back, the truth's very simple. I just did not fit their box. Yes, the franchise had great system and a big community, but it wasn't the right fit for me. What I really needed was something different, a place where I could grow my business my way, stay true to who I am, and be supported for that, not shaped into someone else's idea of success. But making that shift wasn't easy. It meant walking away from something familiar and stepping into the unknown. And then the pandemic hit. We all remember how travel stopped for 2 years. And because of it, I had no business left. I had to start all over, and I had the opportunity to evaluate my current business model, reevaluate my procedures, my workflow, my vision, and decide what really mattered. So I kept thinking of that Friends scene that you can see here with Ross yelling, pivot, pivot. It always makes me laugh, but that's exactly what I did. I left the franchise and I rebranded as Voyage Blue Travel and started fresh. I still had my clients, but I lost the reservation system, all the tools that I used, and I didn't even have a seller of travel license anymore by leaving the franchise. I needed a host agency, but not just any host. I needed a place that felt like home. During my search for a new host agency, I had the same questions you probably have now. And one of the biggest ones for me was, can I keep my brand and run my business my way? Yes, you can, is the answer, but not with every host agency. After a lot of research, I found Travel Resources Group, which was a small, privately owned host agency based right here in Key Largo. They seriously had everything I needed. A seller of travels license, they had the IATA, insurance, reservation systems, the connections with the vendors. But more importantly, they gave me freedom. I could grow Voyage Blue Travel as my own brand. I could pick vendors that matched my niche. I felt heard and I felt seen. And when I joined, Travel Resources Group had just 5 independent advisors. Talk about boutique. But it felt right because the support was personal and real. If you're currently working under the umbrella of a host agency, you might wonder how big of a step it is to move from a franchise or host to a new host agency. You might be interested in watching episode 3 of this webinar series, where I will cover how big of a step it actually was to move my business from the franchise to Travel Resources Group and what the impact was on my business, my clients, and my working procedures, etc. It should be helpful information to those travel advisors looking to switch between host agency or between a franchise and a host agency, as I did. So look out for episode 3 of this webinar. All right, fast forward to today. Today, I am the managing partner at Travel Resources Group, and I am proud to support other advisors as they build their businesses. We are still privately owned, based in Key Largo, and we work with a growing group of independent advisors all across the country. Because of my own journey, I take support, coaching, and mentoring very seriously and personally. Because I know what it is like when you need help, have questions, and not know where to get the answers. That is why my motto always has been, your success is our success. Now let's go back to some of the other questions about host agencies you like answers on. One question is about size. Does it matter how big a host agency is? Yes, absolutely, because one size does not fit all. Every host agency is different. You will hear me say that a few times. Some host agencies host hundreds, even thousands of travel advisors. Others, like us, keep it boutique. But it's not just about the size. It's also about the structure, the values, and how they support you or don't. That is why research is so important. One of the resources for research is the Host Agency Reviews website. Steph Lee and her team have done such a great job helping advisors compare their options. Their site is a fantastic resource, but I also know it still can feel overwhelming at times. That's why I'm so grateful that you are here today. Allow me to describe our agency. We currently have 20 independent travel advisors under our umbrella. Some sell under our brand, Travel Resources Group, and some use their own brand name, and we actually encourage that. Our goal is 50 independent contractors by the end of 2029. 50 is the magic number, as we need to know still all our advisors personally, and we like to understand their business one by one to be able to support them. By growing our community of travel advisors, our sales will increase and we will benefit from higher commission levels with vendors. Our support team is small but efficient, friendly and committed. It will grow as needed. The advantage of our boutique team is that our support team is in the field with you and they understand your day-to-day real challenges. And we might already have solutions to your challenges. And if we don't, we're here to help figure it out together. So how do you figure out what host agency is the right fit for you? Before asking host agencies all the questions, I challenge you to start asking yourself a few questions, because only you know what keeps you motivated, focused, and inspired, and what kind of support helps you thrive. Think about how you would like to work. Do you prefer working solo or being part of a supportive community? Do you want structure and accountability or complete independence? Does regular connection and encouragement energize you, or do you prefer to stay behind the scenes? I recently spoke with an advisor hosted elsewhere, and she never joins group calls or training sessions, and yet she's incredibly successful. I personally don't understand that, but it works for her. We're all different, right? And that's the point. So you might also ask yourself, how important is it to me to have my own brand and business identity? Do I want done-for-me tools and systems, or do I enjoy creating my own? At Travel Resources Group, we support both. Some advice is built under our brand, as I mentioned earlier, while others grow their own. There is no right or wrong here, just what is right for you. And once you're clear on that, it becomes much easier to find a host agency that truly fits you. Just because two host agencies offer the same commission split doesn't mean that they're the same. Some are highly structured, others offer more freedom. Some agency owners are hands-on. They even require copies of every client email. You have to use their name, and others give you full control over branding, communication, and client relationships. Things like legal agreements, client ownership, and vendor access can vary more than you will expect. So when you are comparing host agencies, don't stop at what do they offer? Ask yourself, how do they deliver it? And does it align with how I want to run my business? Since I can't speak for other host agencies, let me give you a peek inside what we do at Travel Resources Group. We believe in open doors. So whether you're just getting started or ready to grow, we meet you where you are. You bring your brand, your ideas, your way of working, and we respect that. We're here to support you with feedback, ideas, and encouragement. If you have a niche you're passionate about, we'll help you make that your superpower. An example that comes to mind is from one of our advisors, Chris. His business is focused on scuba vacations. He does groups and individual trips, as his background is working at a dive shop for many years. Talk about niche, right? We help him find the best way to set up his niche travel agency. I personally love that. My journey inspired me to help build the kind of host agency I wished I had from the start, one that truly feels like home. At Travel Resources Group, you're not just a number, you're part of a close-knit community. You'll have real support from someone who's been there. Whether you're choosing a vendor, handling a tricky client, or facing a travel emergency, we're there. Because when life or business gets stressful, you shouldn't have to figure it out alone. We're here for you, every step of the way. Now let's talk tools, resources, and programs, because support is more than just answering emails. One thing that I learned early on is that our industry has a lot of tools. It can get overwhelming fast. So at Travel Resources Group, we focus on what really works, and we build based on what advisors actually ask for. Our industry offers so many tools, and like I said, it can be so overwhelming. So we work hard to get through the noise. We offer a strong set of tools and resources, and we're always adding new ones based on what our community asks for. So here's a snapshot of what we offer, and I will go in more detail later in the presentation. So number one, we have the Travel Resources Group Community Hub. So the TRG Community Hub, which is our private online platform with templates, training videos, vendor links, and there's a lot of other useful resources, even a clock for different time zones and weather, and there's a lot of fun stuff there. Then we offer a coaching and mentoring program, which is ongoing, not just during onboarding. We have very high-end tech systems, including the latest and the greatest in our industry, which is Turn, which I'll tell you a little bit about. We do offer a startup roadmap and bootcamp for new and existing travel advisors. And we organize periodic vendor presentations. They're tailored to what our community wants to learn. So we just last week had Ama Waterways here presenting for our entire agency. We don't want to overwhelm you. We give you what you need and when you need it. At first glance, boutique host agencies might seem similar, right? But don't let that fool you that a smaller one is different. We offer many of the same tools. We offer the same protections, and we offer the same professional standards as the big ones. So most of us are IATA certified. We're members of ASTA, and we're fully insured. We all carry the required seller of travel license for Florida and Washington State, and the chances are that we're all affiliated with a consortia. Travel Resources Group is affiliated with Travel Leaders Network, which is one of the largest and most respected consortia in the industry. And you will see that our commission, being a boutique host agency, the splits and the monthly fees are really competitive too. And yes, being a boutique host agency, we take this business seriously. Just like the big host agency, we operate professionally and protect both our business and yours at a legal level. One of the most common questions I hear is, what kind of support will I actually get? And it's a fair question, because support means different things at different agencies. I will show you what support looks like at our agency. I like to start with our startup roadmap. Most people expect structured onboarding from big host agency, but often don't expect it from a boutique host agency. And that's exactly why I want to show you what we have built. Every advisor at Travel Resources Group starts with our in-house startup roadmap. It's a guided onboarding and bootcamp program. It consists of 4 onboarding modules, and then there is 6 bootcamp sessions focused on growth and strategy. Even if you've worked in travel before, we are confident that you will come away with new ideas, tools, and clarity. The program is paced week by week with self-study, weekly live check-ins, and resources you can revisit anytime. It includes content that we created in-house, but we've also co-branded with training, for example, with host agency reviews and top tier resources from our Consortia Travel Leaders Network. Everything lives in our TRG Community Hub, ready when you need it. You deserve to be heard, and I believe you thrive when you have access to real experience, steady guidance, and a connected community. Our advisors enjoy personalized, consistent support. One of the benefits of being a part of a small community is that I know all the advisors personally and they know each other. That connection truly makes a difference. We believe community is key to all our success. Here's what our support toolbox looks like. We have weekly question and answer sessions, which is just a casual space to talk through challenges and celebrate wins. Then we have weekly office hours where you can drop in with questions or just to talk things through. We do monthly focus hours, which is a co-working session to keep you accountable and you can get stuff done. We obviously offer personal support, email, Facebook group, text, and we're here when you need us. We will provide templated terms and conditions, which are just easy to customize for your business, and you will never be left figuring it out all by yourself. Having a listening ear and soundboard gives you the confidence you made the right decision. Support isn't a one-size-fits-all, it's personal. And I have seen how it reduces stress levels and grows confidence. We also offer mentoring, not just for new advisors, but for anyone who wants to grow with a purpose. And when I say mentoring, I don't just mean watching a video and filling out a worksheet. I mean real conversations with someone who's been there. Here's how it's worked. We have a quarterly one-on-one strategy call where you set your goals and you create a plan with your agency manager. Then there are monthly mastermind sessions where you'll be in the hot seat and you will learn from peers and you will support each other. There are periodic deep dive sessions covering topics helping you grow your business. And then we do the annual goal setting session where you will reflect, plan, and celebrate your growth for the year to come. I strongly believe in the quote of Woody Allen, 80% of success is showing up. All right, let's go back and let's talk tech. Technology should help you, not slow you down. Our tools that we offer here at Travel Resources Group are state of the art. They are practical, easy to learn, and designed to keep your business running smooth. Turn. I already mentioned it earlier, and it is truly amazing. As soon as they were ready, we changed our reservation system to Turn. It tracks clients, trips, payments, commissions, and it even has a built-in itinerary builder, and it's heavily supported by AI. It is so much fun, and it saves hours of work and brain power. I love it. TRG Community Hub, I already mentioned, where you will find a lot of templates, training videos, vendor links, and updates constantly. You have access to website landing pages through our consortia so clients can find you, but you can also create group landing pages in Turn. And we have a vendor library that lives in Turn as well, where you can find the right vendor for the right product for your clients. Again, we're always open to adding more tech tools based on our community needs. We are all in business to make money, and your earnings matter. In episode 2 of this webinar series, we're taking a quick look at the signed agreement between you and the host agency, and we highlight the terms and conditions some more and discuss how boutique host agencies compare to the large ones with reference to the financial and the legal aspects in relation to your business. We will explain how our commission model is built to grow with you. So in episode 2, I also will talk about something that matters a lot to most of the advisors. It is client ownership. At Travel Resources Group, your clients are 100% yours. It is all written in the agreement. There is no gray area. All that information will better equip you to make an educated decision what host agency to choose for your business. So what is it really like to be part of a boutique host agency community? I'll tell you, this decision isn't just about tools or commission split. It's about finding a place where you feel seen, supported, and surrounded by people who actually care. Because when you have that, it changes everything. So after hearing all this, I hope that you have a clearer picture of what a boutique host agency like Travel Resources Group can offer. Maybe you're even wondering if Travel Resources Group could be a fit for your travel business. Remember those questions that I encourage you to ask yourself? Start there. In business, we see not every client is a fit for every advisor, right? Sometimes we have a client we should not be working with. It's the same here with the Travel Resources Group. Not every advisor is the perfect fit for every host agency. So you have to find the perfect fit for you, but also for us. I believe the best matches happen when expectations are clear on both sides. So here's who we see are thriving in our community, the type of travel advisor. It's the travel advisor who enjoys being part of a smaller, more personal group where we know your name, we know what you're working on, and we probably even know your cat's name. The best thriving travel advisors are those who value being connected. They show up, they stay involved, and they reach out when they need help. It's that travel advisor who wants to be part of the solution, who value having a voice, sharing feedback, and helping shape the agency. It's the travel advisor who are generous in spirit, and they share wins and ideas with their peers. Most of our travel advisors have a clear business model or at least a strong desire to develop one. And finally, we see travel advisors thrive in our community who love what they do and want to have fun while doing it. Fun is so important in this business. So if this sounds like you, there's a good chance that Travel Resources Group could feel like home for you. All right, let's quickly recap what it's like to be part of a boutique host agency like Travel Resources Group. We're almost there. You keep your brand, your voice, and your niche. You get support that's actually personal. You have access to competitive tools and resources that work. You have the freedom to use the vendors that fit your business. And you make an earning where competitive and transparent commission split. You can keep your 100% of your booking fees, and I'll talk about that more in the next episode of this webinar too. And you will be part of a community that truly feels like home. We've covered a lot today, so if you're still here, thank you for sticking here with me. And whether you're just starting or ready to grow, my biggest hope is that you leave today with a little bit more clarity, a bit more confidence, and maybe even some inspiration to take that next step in your business. And if you're still unsure, that's okay. Just know that you don't have to figure it out all alone. This is our community. Here are a few of us on the picture. A place where questions are heard, a place where your experience and ideas are valued, a place where you can grow at your own pace without pressure to fit into somebody else's box. And that's why we are building every day at Travel Resources Group this community, a real community that has your back. All right, let me quickly see if there is any questions here, because I did see a question come by. And of course, I encourage you to watch episode 2 and 3 of this webinar series too, to even better understand what we are like. But one of the questions is if you can operate your business under our umbrella using your own brand, or do you need to use Travel Resources Group? I did cover that. You can use both. So you can run your business under our brand or your own brand. And we actually encourage you developing your brands. And then on the back of house, you're always a Travel Resources Group. Another question, that's a good question, is if we are an MLM. No. So for those who don't know, an MLM is a multi-level marketing company. And we are in business to grow your travel business. So we don't even allow to bring on associates until you've reached a certain level of travel sales. So we absolutely are not an MLM, but it's a good question. Thank you. Another question, that's the last question we'll cover, is regarding the commission split. And it's kind of like if you're a new advisor or if you are already an existing advisor. And I would answer that really with a conversation as the entry-level split might differ from a newbie to the industry to an advisor that already has an active book of clients. So I highly encourage you watch episode 2 to understand our commission split and the structure in more detail. Thank you so much for being here, whether you joined live or watched the recording. I'd love to hear your story, answer your question, and help you explore what kind of host agency setup might really support your goals. You can reach out to me or my team anytime via our website. The contacts are here on the screen. I truly want you to succeed. And if we're not a right fit, I will still point you the right direction, right? This industry can be tough, but it's also beautiful, and seeing the world through your client's eyes, that is the reward that makes it all worth. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to connect with you.